Okay, hello, good evening. It's Tuesday, and that means it's Startup Tuesday, so let's start. Okay, so this way too big. Let me just bring that in. Right, let's just make sure that that's happening. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. We'll find out. Right, anyway, so let's get that in the right place. There we go. Let's get underway. So what I'm doing? Yeah. Right, so I've got my big heavy mic again today, so it's hard for me not to go off mic because it's really quite heavy. So I must sort that out soon. Anyway, but today, single concept show. Laser focus winning. Okay, laser focus winning. So, it's not exactly a mindset thing. It's more of a strategy, really. Yeah, I think it's more of a mindset than a strategy. Sorry, more of a strategy than a mindset. So the problem is that a lot of people start their SaaS kind of apologetically, not sure if it's going to work and why, how people react, or why even they should use them. And one of the golden rules of things is that hang on, what we doing? There we go. Is that people buy in to success, basically, and the way that success is portrayed is basically with energy, excitement, and confidence. So, I mean, if you think of it yourself, if you went to the doctor's and he wasn't sure and he was apologetic and going, it might not work, but I'll do my best, It's a bit difficult, but I'll do my best. I've done it before and I'm quite good at it, but, you might die, but I'll do my best. Yeah, yeah, that's probably not the sort of doctor that you want. Okay, and it's no different in any other thing at all. You don't want it in your babysitter. You don't want it in even in somebody in the department store. You want them to to charge you the right price and the right things, and and just to get it done without errors. And quickly and all that kind of stuff. We don't want people. We don't want to deal with people who don't want to be there. We don't want to deal with people who are depressed about what they do. We don't want to deal with people who are unconfident. We don't want to deal with people who are upset and crying. And it's not surprising, really, if you think about it. So why would you run a business like that? So when you do your startup, you should have researched it, and you should have got some early market feedback from your alpha testers or whatever, and you should be pretty confident that what you've got is right. But that's not enough, because we have to portray that, and actually even worse than that, actually we have to reach out to the market like that, and that's even harder. So basically, I mentioned it before, but it's kind of just so fundamental that I'm going to mention it again, and that is basically the way to to do this and to reach out and to be confident and excited and energetic is basically not not to talk about your SaaS or your startup or whatever it is, business, whatever it is. Okay, because that leads you into being kind of a commodity. It makes you geeky, and people are just not interested in it because it's what's in it for them. It's always Wi-Fi FM. Okay, So the way that we resolve this, the way that we own the market or own our space, whatever you want to call it, basically is to talk about the success. Well, sorry, is to talk about their success is the first thing. From using this. And then we don't need to do any comparisons with other competitors or say why we're better than A or B, or if they deal with your business, you supply them, with exactly what they expect, with what they need, to get the job done at a fair price. Okay. And that's it. And we don't have to apologise anywhere, in that conversation. We don't have to compare ourselves with the competition anywhere in that conversation. The bottom line is that if you have their attention, okay, at that moment. Okay, so whatever it is, whether it's your ad that has brought them in to your page, okay, the point is if they're on your page, or they're talking to you, or they've rung you up, or whatever it is, basically that's your moment. Okay, you own that moment. Okay, and if you go down the kind of sort of a brand route where or a product route where you're saying how great you are or how great your product is, that's not going to be believable because you're saying it rather than somebody else saying it about you. So it's not a testimonial, it's not social proof. Okay. So that's the big issue, and also it's just not interesting. It's just not interesting to the prospect. Okay, so that's why we need to step this up. So the key to this laser focus winning, as I say, is sorry, keyboard because I've got a heavy mic in my hand, is as we say, number one is to talk about their success, with your product. Okay, so basically, in kind of in storytelling, it's not really quite right, but but basically what life would be like. Okay, but without going into the nitty gritty of the product. The product demonstration or the manual is the time when you want to go into the this widget does this, or this aspect of the product does that. It's not what we're trying to do here. We're talking about their success with your product. So to pull this off, to be able to do this, genuinely, professionally, and all that kind of stuff. Basically, we need to be able to go deeply into the topic. Okay, you can't just start a conversation, with a couple of lines and hope they won't ask anything awkward. Okay, we need to, really be, on top of what's going on, and the way that basically it's going to integrate. The way that they're going to, source it, the way, anything to do with logistics or packing or anything like that. Ease of use will come into it, but don't go down a rabbit hole with that one. But it might be relevant depending. Just as I say, this isn't a manual moment. This is how to succeed with the product kind of moment. And anything that is an obstacle. So basically confront objections Okay, find roadblocks and remove them. Okay, now this is all without talking about the product. So you can see that this is going to be quite powerful, in the sense of what it is. So let me give you an example. Now again, because you haven't told me what your product is by leaving me a comment below the live stream, I'm going to talk about one of mine. I think that's fair enough. If you can't be bothered to tell me what you do, then I'm going to talk about one of mine. So this is a new business. I've had the idea for a long time before, and I've sort of half done it. But this is a new thing this week, which I'm going to launch now. And it came about because I needed it. Okay, which is the worst possible, reason to do a product. But it happens to be a great product and very necessary. So for once, it's going to play out. But it's an abysmal reason to to create a product. But I needed it. I couldn't go further on my own without it. I did buy one from somebody else, and it was just horrendous. It's stupidly complicated. It's very clever, very intricate, very flexible. Hence super complicated. I mean, ridiculously super complicated. I'd be spending 2 weeks, learning it, instead of doing it with it. So it was just stupid. I mean, partly that's because I'm super stupid and simple, but it was just, overcomplicated. It was just really, really overcomplicated. They'd use bits from other people, and they were integrating into that, and there were issues with that, and it was just stupid. So I just thought, blow this. I'll just make my own. And I basically did, and it was basically, we all have these thoughts that, it's only going to take a day or something, or 5 minutes or something. And it did, to start with. The basic shell took, a day. So now we're on like day 12. Because things get complicated, and we have a tendency to throw features in that, that we don't need today, but we just think would be really cool. And I have, not done a lot of those, and I've got a whole heap of stuff that I can do, for later, and anything that caused me any issues at all, I just basically, remarked out, and, we'll upgrade those features, down the road. But the important thing was that it does, what it does, because that's his job. It can't, not do its job, and it can't be super complicated in doing its job. So sorry, I haven't explained what it is yet. So this is basically about doing, webinars. So, when you do webinars, that's great, but it's hard to get people to come, and it's very time intensive, and people are quite, guarded now because they know that they're going to be sold to. And how do you get people to the webinar, to start with, because we don't want to give them something stupid, like a PDF or a bit of software, and then trick them into coming to the webinar when we're going to close them. So the whole thing was messy. So there is another thing called, an auto webinar or an auto NAR or whatever you want to call it. But the trouble with those is that they're, obviously not real. So the question is why isn't it just a video? Or my favourite actually is to do courses, micro courses. Okay, that's my favourite model, so far, until today. Or it'd be tomorrow actually, probably Wednesday. Way things are going. Anyway, but so. The auto webinar is not real, and you're still making people wait, for a slot, okay, which is a bit stupid. But you're trying to make it an event, so that you get the, attention, and that you make it, it's kind of, it's fake scarcity really, or forced scarcity, or forced urgency really. In fact, it's both. It's false urgency and faked scarcity. Okay, so it's just not congruent. Okay, it's just crappy, basically. But we don't, I as I say, I like you doing the micro courses because that's real. The reason to put their email in is, real, because they need the access to come back, to log in. Obviously the course itself can contain, other promotional material and stuff. So, I really like micro courses as part of the funnel. But again, they're quite, intensive to set up, because you've got to come up with, a lot of material. And if it's a course rather than a live webinar, you can't kind of waffle like I'm doing on, now. It has to be kind of rehearsed and stuff. So it takes like 10 times longer, than doing a live webinar. But the trouble with a live webinar is getting everyone to show up at the same time, or even just to show up at all. So that's why the auto webinars are good, because you can just keep inviting them back to the auto webinar, and you've recorded it, so you only need to do it once, so your time's free. Okay, but again, as I say, it's just the fakeness of it is no good. So anyway, a while back, somebody for some reason, I don't know why he did it, but he described an auto webinar. He was being honest and upfront about it. The first thing he said in the auto webinar was that this is a recording. Okay, so it's good that he came clean. But I don't know if he billed it like that or not. But anyway, once we arrived, he explained that he wasn't really there. So yeah, it doesn't sound so good when I explain it. But anyway, it seemed good at the time that he was honest about it. But at some point he described this really as that it should be called an anytime webinar. Okay, because and that would be because the value in that was because it was to their schedule. Okay, they didn't have to wait for a slot. Okay, but there was a flaw with this because it was a recording, so it was really just a video. So it was really come and watch my video anytime you like, which is no longer the live event. Okay, we don't have the scarcity and the urgency, and there's nothing special about it, and they could come pretty much any time. So what I've done is I've transgressed. Is that the right word? No, that sounds like something bad. But anyway, I've kind of I don't know what the word is, but I'm going to say transgressed. I've transgressed past that. So what I've done is I've come up with a real anytime webinar, and it's even called anytimewebinar.com. And the thing is basically is that there is no slot. It's almost instant. Now you can set the time, but there's basically a warm up time. Okay, so it doesn't start immediately. So we get their attention, we get them focused. Okay, and in that you can actually use that time productively, or they can use that time productively, so they can download. That's for download now. Download the notes or a pre-fill questionnaire kind of thing. I'll call it quiz actually. To write the answers down and to take notes. Notes taker. Okay, so they can get that. There's a warm-up video. To create the desire, i.e., are they in the right place? What are they going to get out of it? Okay, very important things. Let's put that in. Are they in the right place? What will they get? Okay. So we're using this time to to focus them. I mean, I I wouldn't. But yeah, you could do a bio introduction of who you are or something. But I don't. That's probably better in the webinar if you're going to have to do that. Although I don't like doing that. I don't see the point in doing that, because again, it's not about you. We don't. Nobody cares about you or your history. You're either telling them good stuff or you're not. It's really that easy. So I don't bother with that. Because basically the promise is going to be, attend this webinar and you'll learn 1, 2, 3, and that's either true or it isn't. And obviously it wants to be true because you're saying you're going to learn 1, 2, 3. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Get them to walk away with 1, 2, 3. Now obviously 1, 2, 3 might be a precursor to 4, 5, 6. But we're not leaving anything out. We're going as far as we can go with 1, 2, 3. Just if there is a 4, 5, 6, then there isn't time in the webinar to do it, and that's when you upsell them to the course or the product or the service or whatever it is. Okay, so that you all know. I don't even know why I mentioned that, but so we're making them wait for a little bit. We're getting their attention. We're getting the focus. We're putting the desire in. We're getting them to be excited about the event. I mean, the reality is, if they get called away in an urgent meeting or something, they can come back anytime and do it again, because it is an anytime webinar. But they will have to wait a small inconvenient time of up to you, 2 to 10 minutes or whatever you want to set. I mean, you can set it to be days if you want. But the idea is that they will wait 2 minutes, but they might not wait more than that. So it gets them paying attention, gets them in the mood, gets them focused, gets them realizing that this is quite special. Now, so the second thing then is that the trouble with it, or the trouble with it, the option of, why is it better than a video, basically? Okay, but because watching a video is not, exciting or anything. Because they can do it any time, and then the reality is that then they won't do it at any time because it's not actually important. So we want the event, but why is it an event and not just a video? So what I've done is I've integrated live chat into it. So if they have any questions, they can get the live support. And because it's live chat, if you're offline, then they can email their questions in, and then you can get back to them. Okay, but the idea is that you or your outworkers, what's the word I'm looking for, not avatar, forgotten the word anyway. Your outsourcer anyway, a VA, virtual assistant. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Well, in fact, not a virtual assistant. They don't need to be fake. Can do that, and later on, I've actually got an AI chatbot, stroke FAQ that that can go in that slot as well. But the point is that what's live about it is what needs to be live, which is your interaction with them. So you say something, in the video, they don't understand it. We're stuck immediately. So we want them to be able to ask the question, live, and we want to be able to answer the question live. And in actual fact, this is actually better than a webinar, because most people treat webinars as a presentation, okay, i.e. A one-sided thing, and then what's the name of that? There we go. A one-sided thing, and then there may be Q&A at the end. Okay, so you're making them sit through like 40 minutes of stuff, and they're stuck with this question in the middle of the thing, and you don't want to lose your flow. Okay, so you make them, ask the question at the end. Well, that's no good, because they probably spent the whole 40 minutes not understanding something because they couldn't ask the question. Okay, but by running the questions live, okay, then we get the best of both worlds. So you can focus on the questions. You won't lose your flow, because your flow is basically recorded in the video, and you can give your attention to what actually matters, which is your interaction with them and answering their questions. Okay, now kind of things to notice there. So one is, we could argue that it's just a video with a chat bot below, but because of the countdown timer and the notes and the warm-up video, and the whole feel of the thing, it doesn't feel like a video, and it's got all the advantages of not being a video, because it does have the live chat built in. So conceptually, that's how it works, and also it's easy to set these up. Okay, there's a WordPress plugin to integrate it if you want to do that thing, or you can iframe it basically on your anywhere you like. So it's your URL. You're not promoting YouTube or any other platform. You just iframe it on your own domain, and what you're promoting is your thing. Okay, undoubtedly your thing. So you're promoting yourself and not the platform. So that's what it is, and it's very easy to set up, as I say. Very easy to do the pre-warm up, the downloads, and also for the close. There's a couple of things. There's a notes download thing. So you're still giving even at the end of the presentation, and then as well as that, there is a CTA button, which could be to the offer or whatever, whatever you've explained in the video. But you've got something instantly clickable, to do that, and and all this is done for you in a template, where you don't need to do any HTML, or coding or anything like that. So it's very, as I say, it's very easy, to do. Okay, and and the bottom line is, it feels live because actually, the Q&A is constant and live. Okay, now the two things that two things that we know. So we could argue that it's just a live chat next to a video, but the system is designed so it doesn't feel like that. Okay, it doesn't feel like that. The user experience is much better than that. And also, there's no controls on the video, so they have to pay attention. They can't rewind it and stuff like that. So it feels live. But the other thing that I want you to notice, the most important thing, is notice what I've done in the way that I've explained this to you. Okay, I haven't really told you anything about the product. I haven't told you the name, the price. I haven't told you that you can buy it. That's all implied. But the way I explained it was in basically what life is like with it. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken you through the history of webinars and autonars, and just video playback and micro courses, and now I've shown you that basically what I'm offering you is actually the slogan for the product is an instant webinar funnel. Okay, because it's not just a video, it's not just a webinar. The whole thing is designed beginning to end to get your message across, to get it accessed by the people as quickly as possible, and to enable them to buy. Okay, so it puts your messaging in the best possible light, and the beautiful thing about this is you can send ads direct to the anytime webinar. Okay, because they don't have to come and think, I'm interested in that, but it's not on now, so I've got to put that in my calendar, for God's sake, and come back in 24 hours or 2 days or whatever it is, when I've gone off the idea. I can't really be bothered with it then. So I'm probably not going to turn up, because I know you're going to sell me, and I know that there's probably going to be a replay, so I'm just going to wait for the replay. But when the replay comes in, I'm not going to attend it because I'm not that interested. Okay, but this way, my way, the anytime webinar way, you see the ad, you're interested in the thing. It's a kind of a 1, 2, 3 promise. I'll go into that in the training with the product, and bam, it's up to you. You can set the time as you want, but basically 2 minutes. 2 minutes of warm up, okay, and again, we're not wasting their time. We're not waiting, making them wait for no reason. There's a pre-video there. There's the notes or the note taker, or the mind map, or whatever, or the resources to go with it. So we've got the downloads there, and then we got the explainer video, to warm them up. So we're not wasting their time. Okay, and it's only 2 minutes, and it goes by really quickly. And then the webinar starts. Bam, we're in. And then they get stuck. They have a question. Well, guess what? They use the live chat. Okay, any time during the presentation, because they're not going to interrupt your flow, because it's you or your assistant are basically there manning the Q&A, the live chat, to answer the Q&A, constantly. Okay, and and if you are asleep in bed, then it's got the email fallback like any live chat system does. And as I say, I've got the AI bot coming out later. But anyway, you see the difference in the thing. You can send ad traffic to this, and basically, bam, they're in it straight away. Okay, as soon as they land on the page, they get access to stuff they can download. They get the explainer video, immediately. It's only 2 minutes, and then they're actually on the event. So yes, practically, if they have to leave, they can leave. They can come back, and they won't miss anything. Okay, but it doesn't feel like that, and they're getting the instant value out of it. It's instant gratification because it starts within 2 minutes. Okay, now in my test, doing it shorter than that, you could set it to 10 seconds, but just doing 10-second countdown and you're in, doesn't really work. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right, and there isn't enough time to warm them up or give them the assets or to get them to focus. So 2 minutes, as far as I'm concerned, is the right period. Okay, and you can see that you can send ad traffic straight to it. They'll get instant results, and then you close them instantly on the thing. There's no follow up. There's no unopened email invites. It's straight from the advert into the webinar, into the anytime webinar. They don't have to wait for a time slot. There's no worry if they miss the time slot, with not having to lie to them or put in fake anything. It's anytime there comes a link, they can get it. That's fine. But every event is unique, if you like, because the live chat Q&A is live. Okay, the people who are watching it with them will be different, every time. So it does actually create a kind of unique event, in there, and it also gives you modularity, because if there were questions from previous replays that are common or good putting in, you can put them into the live chat, as canned messages, or as teasers, or in the downloads, or whatever you want. If your webinar's to sell something, there's a the buy button, or whatever you want to do, call to action button, is right there, below the video all the time. We're not doing any fake scarcity pop-up button stuff. We could, but there's no need. We don't need, to fake them into being invested in the video and then show them the buy button, and then they think, oh, that's all right then. We're not apologising for the fact that we're there to sell something, but the point is we are delivering value in the event, unquestionably. And if they want to take that value further, then they can buy the thing, and it's that straight. So to say, it's congruent. Okay, it's just congruent, and there's no loss in emails or timing or fake slots or fake seats or anything like that. Okay, and also what this is doing is it is just playing a video, so anywhere you can host the video, even on YouTube, although technically that's actually probably against their terms of service because it's not supposed to be for commercial use, although nobody ever seems to get that. But Vimeo or HTML5 or Amazon S3, wherever you have your videos, so you're not having to pay for some super technical live, theoretically two-way, chat system, or video insert thing or open mic or anything like that. That's all handled by the live chat, which is very capable of handling literally thousands of people live at the same time, because it's just text. It's just text chat. But it is live, and you can answer the questions, live straight away. So that's it. But anyway, again, notice what I've done here. I haven't given you a feature benefit outcome of the product. I haven't shown you the product. I haven't given you the price of the product. I haven't told you the name of the product particularly. I have done a couple of times actually. It's called anytimewebinar.com. But what I've explained to you is what it does to your life. In that if you don't have the time to do webinars, and you can't get the people to come to the webinars, if they're waiting for the replay and then the replays aren't converting because it's just a video really, that is better than just a video. The microcourse thing still works, but again setting up a microcourse takes time because a microcourse has to be polished, a lot more polished than a live thing. So this has got everything going for it, and this is what your life is like when you run the Anytime Webinar system. Okay, so see what I've done. Okay, just see what I've done there. I've basically explained what it does. I've probably made you want it, and even if you don't, you can absolutely see how it could work for you. Okay. And I haven't had to convince you with anything. Social proof. There's no competitors. The competitors don't matter, because this is, I'm presenting this. I'm framing this. The story behind this is a different kind of thing. It solves the problems with all of the status quo things. Okay, from webinars to auto webinars to just plain old videos. Okay. It's obviously superior to all of those. Okay, so now I've gone into sales mode, so sorry about that. But anyway, notice what I've done. I've talked about it, and I've talked about it in the sense of what's in it for them, and that's about it. Okay, and we haven't gone into any geek speak. No geek speak, and I haven't even had to show you. I could show you the interface as part of the tour. That wouldn't be out of order, out of keeping, but I haven't really needed to, and that's why it's a powerful system. But that's why this technique of the story that I've just done on you, that's why it works, because it's just a very natural conversation about what your life would be like if you had, or when you have this thing in your arsenal, in your toolkit, in your as one of your business resources. So there we go. So I think I've probably waffled on enough there. I have. But that's that's what we do, and this is where the laser focus winning comes from, because we're talking about the success in the product or of your business, or the service you supply, or whatever it is, without actually selling it, really, to be honest. So that's it. So I'll see you next time. I'll see you tomorrow, in fact. So I'll see you then. Bye bye for now. Bye bye. Bye bye.